Spiritual formation. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Gary. Thank you for giving us a few moments of your time to go on this learning journey of what it means to be formed spiritually. Recapturing this notion that Paul saw sacrifice as the heart of what it means to be an authentic disciple, to be a person who can be described as holy, is particularly significant when it helps us understand what we mean by holiness. Whether you hear that word, when you hear that word today, you probably make a lot of assumptions. I can describe that God calls us to be holy, and depending on the age of the church where you live, that might mean something very different to you. So let's go back to the early church. The real state of holiness back then was to undergo martyrdom. They thought that was the ultimate statement of holiness, being willing to give your body to the flames or to wild animals. There are accounts where some Christian moms virtually had to tie up their sons to keep them from trying to pursue martyrdom. After that, once the church did okay and there wasn't as much persecution, holiness was seen as synonymous with asceticism. It was the age of the desert fathers. They couldn't be persecuted in Rome, so they went outside Rome, go into the desert, and they would undergo hardship. That's what they thought it meant to be holy. At other times in Christian history, it was about being charismatic or working wonder miracles. You were seen as particularly holy if you had that sense to have the supernatural experience in your life. In some stages of the church, holiness was seen as someone who had a particularly powerful impact when it came to outreach, like the Wesleys, who saw so many people come to know the Lord, or George Whitefield, or perhaps in our day, Billy Graham, but there'd be the sense of a fruitful ministry in all of them. If somebody has a very fruitful ministry, they were seen as very holy. I think more likely today we've often looked at holiness as having that moral element that we avoid certain things. That if you're particularly holy, you don't look at certain things, you don't ingest certain things, you don't go to certain movies. We've had a more of a morality-based view of holiness. I do think even more recently we're recapturing a sense of the social purpose and outreach behind holiness, that Jesus calls us to reach the oppressed, to feed the poor, to give water to those who are thirsty. But I hope, however, we begin to define it, because I think holiness has a lot of definitions. We'll keep this notion that Paul had, that we must be willing to sacrifice. See, what I have found in my own life is that I want to be faithful in ministry, but I want God to remove the consequences of unfaithfulness. I've met a lot of Christians where they'd say, Lord, I'm willing to serve you as long as I can still live in this house, or I can still live by my parents, or I don't have to worry about this financial situation. But the spirit of sacrifice, the spirit of holiness, the spirit of, I believe, an authentic faith, a true Christian spirituality says, I'm willing to serve God regardless. Well, thank you for giving me a few moments of your time on this learning journey. I do sincerely appreciate it, that you're going on this journey with us. Would you be so kind to share this information on your social platform so that others can learn about this opportunity to become formed spiritually? Until we can meet again, we bid you Godspeed. Bye for now.